And welcome into this edition of ACAP Today for the week of January 23rd, 2023. I'm Jason Parent with the Aroostook County Action Program. On this week's edition of ACAP Today, it's tax time, and we're going to talk about the Tax Assistance Program. That's a partnership of a number of organizations here in Aroostook County. We're going to have that conversation and our guests in just a little bit. But before we get to that, I should say, we're going to first get to the news and information that you can use again for this week of the 23rd of January, 2023. We begin with the news and information that you can use with this. On February 1st and 2nd, there will be 3 community forums that will be held in Fort Kent, Presque Isle, and Holton, respectively. You see them there on your screen. These are to discuss about accessing COVID-19 testing in rural communities. We want to hear from all people. Results will inform testing access and messaging in communities. People who participate will receive a $30 gift card for participating. So if you would like to learn more, this is in partnership with the University of Maine, go to covidstudy@maine.edu, or you can call 780-5620. Those sessions are at ACAP's Fort Kent facility at 40 Alfalfa Avenue in Fort Kent on February 1st at 10 a.m. at ACAP's Maine Customer Service Center at 771 Main Street near Walmart on February 1st at 2 p.m. and at our Holton office at 91 Military Street on February 2nd at 10 a.m. We hope that if you're in and around those communities and have an interest in joining us for this conversation, again, a $30 gift card will be given to participants that engage in these discussions. We are also very pleased to announce the return of the Cinderella Project of Maine to Aroostook County. This is where our agency, in partner with our sister CAP agency, Waldo Community Action Partners, that runs a program in their area downstate along the mid-coast, will be offering new and used prom dresses to young ladies, available to them at no charge, to ensure that they can participate in this rite of passage, if you will. The Cinderella Project of Maine will actually have 4 days of availability for individuals, as opposed to just the one weekend as we've done in past years. This is in part because of our partnership with Vision Care of Maine and their generosity as we're beginning to transition and move into our new space in the old KeyBank building on the corner of State and Main Street later in March. But we will be offering Cinderella Project of Maine dates on March 4th, 9th, 10th, and 11th, and we'll have more about this project in the coming weeks on another edition of ACAP Today, where we'll talk specifically about this. But it's going to be on the 3rd floor of that old KeyBank building in downtown Presque Isle. If you have information or would like more information on this, I should say, you can give us a call at 764-3721 or email us at info@acap-me.org. If you have a gently used prom dresses that you'd like to donate to this cause, you can drop them off at any ACAP location across Aroostook County in the days preceding the Cinderella Project coming to the county and this availability. We also want to remind folks out there with the record high fuel prices at this time that we're really encouraging folks to apply for the Home Energy Assistance Program if you have not already. Income guidelines are by 1 month, as seen there on the screen. The good news is if you've had a change in your income, household income in just the last month, even if it's been temporary, we encourage you to apply in that subsequent month and use that income guideline for you to be able to hopefully qualify. We can also work with your household to deduct medical expenses and other items to help you qualify for this program. Please do give our Home Energy Assistance Program a call to schedule an appointment at 768-3053. Power Match continues with our friends at Versant Power. They're helping to match up to $200,000 in donations for the 3 community action agencies in northern and eastern Maine. That's ACAP, Penquist, and our sister CAP Down East Community Partners in Washington and Hancock counties. You can donate and have your donation matched by Versant. Go to the ACAP website and click on the donate button, and you can select Power Match and again have your donation matched or doubled. And this is to provide electric bill assistance for those who are in need this winter. Maine's Workforce Collaborative continues to offer free workshop sessions, all offered via Zoom virtually. These include things like interviewing tips and tricks, making career choices, resume and cover letter development, job preparation, retention, and more. ACAP is part of Maine's Workforce Collaborative and is the provider of workforce innovation work services here in Aroostook County for adults and youth. And some of our people help teach these classes, as do professionals from the other agencies that are part of the Workforce Collaborative. You can go to our ACAP website, the Workforce Development page, to see what upcoming classes are and register to have those taken by yourself. Community cupboards are located across Aroostook County. We want to remind folks that many community organizations sponsor these, but certainly could use assistance helping to keep them stocked, including the one outside of our customer service center at 771 Main Street near Walmart in Presque Isle. You can also visit our website or visit the community cupboards. Many of them have Aroostook County food resource guides that show you where other resources are available, including your local community food pantry. We are also obviously welcoming people to join us in helping to fill the cupboard. You can officially adopt it as an organization or a family each month and help keep it stocked for us through that month, or businesses who are interested in helping us out. For $500, we'll purchase the non-perishable food items and keep it stocked for a month and put your sponsorship on the community cupboard outside of 771 Main Street in Presque Isle. We are also reminding folks, especially this time of year, who are in need of warm clothing, that the community closet is set up just to the side of the community cupboard at ACAP's Customer Service Center in Presque Isle. This is available 24/7 to anyone in need. It's also like the community cupboard, a give what you can, take what you need opportunity. And so we are really encouraging folks, especially this time of year, if they have warm coats, unused warm coats or other warm clothing, to please leave those with us. If you come during regular business hours, you can bring the clothing right into our office. Otherwise, you can leave it in the space after hours and our team will take care of it the next morning. Again, anyone is welcome to access clothing through the community closet. We are also reminding folks through our prevention team efforts that if you are looking to dispose of your unwanted or unused medications or have those to dispose of, you can do so at any Aroostook County Police Department as part of the Aroostook Drug Take-Back effort. Medications can also be dropped off at selected pharmacies. The ACAP Prevention Program website has more information on where you can do that and what the hours are for being able to do that if you're looking at a pharmacy to do that at. The COVID-19 vaccines and tests continue, and we are encouraging folks to reach out to their local community to get that. And finally, in the news and information that you can use section this week, we are reminding you that if we have talked about something or not talked about something in this broadcast that you are in need of assistance with, please reach out to us here at ACAP. ACAP and its network of community partners can connect you with those services. The 764-3721 number can get you connected with a navigator to be able to find out how you might be able to access those resources. And that's this week's news and information that you can use. I'm so pleased to welcome now to the broadcast three guests, two of whom are familiar to this broadcast. First, our own Gloria Duncan, ACAP's Executive Assistant. Gloria, welcome back.
Thank you, Jason. Pleasure to be here.
Sarah Duncan, our longstanding partner with United Way of Aroostook. And Sarah, thank you so much for all that you've done to partner with us. We're heading in, as we are in the middle of the cold winter months, very fortunate to have had the partnership with you on the Helping Hands Telethon, and glad to have this upcoming partnership with you on taxes. So nice to see you again.
Thank you, Jason. Always happy to partner.
And Kyle Taylor joins us for his first time on ACAP Today from the County Federal Credit Union. Kyle, great to have you on, and so glad that County Federal Credit Union is once again a leading partner and sponsor of the Aroostook CA H Coalition's work to help people get connected with tax returns.
Thank you for having me, Jason.
All right, well, let's begin our discussion with you, Sarah. United Way of Aroostook is the umbrella organization that sort of brings all of the partners together for this effort. We've talked about this on past editions of ACAP Today, but please remind everyone about what the Aroostook CA H Coalition is about. And then if you want to just head right into talking about this year's effort with the taxes and anything that might have changed, or remind folks about the whole program. So I'll leave it to you to do that.
So the Aroostook CA H Coalition is a wonderful partnership of many organizations, and we have fantastic volunteers that are all IRS certified tax preparers, and they can prepare your taxes for anybody with a household income of $58,000 or less. Each year, we're able to reach almost 900 households in Aroostook County, bringing back over $1 million in refunds right back to the pockets of those that are working hard and really need the help. This money helps cover past bills or help plan for their future and give them that rainy day account that they need. Also, a part of the tax program is our cash creating assets, savings, and we want more people to, they're getting a refund. We want them to be educated on what to do with that refund. And that's where our partnership with the County Federal Credit Union and ACAP really comes in. Fantastic volunteers that really guide people and help people to know what to do with their refund. That can be overwhelming. Sometimes, I mean, we have some amazing stories in the cash program of people coming in to get a refund or get their taxes done and getting large refunds that they were not expecting. And it can be overwhelming. So that's where our wonderful cash coaches really come in and help those people.
Before we get to talking about the cash coaches, I know that Gloria, one of the roles that ACAP has taken on this year with this effort is helping to schedule people. So talk about that. Talk about how people can get an appointment to get their taxes done, which will then also include the services that Sarah talked about, and we're going to talk with Kyle about in just a moment.
Sure. Anyone who would like to have their taxes done, call our phone number 769-2361. Any of our receptionists taking the call will put you on a schedule. We'll be doing appointments in Fort Kent, Holton, and in Presque Isle. In Holton and Fort Kent is on a limited basis, and we will add additional appointments if need be, but those are the scheduled ones for now. Our receptionists are asking anyone who does call for an appointment, we ask them, or we tell them what papers and documents they would need to bring with them. That would include, if they're retired, their social security, proof of income, driver's license or other photo ID, any W-2s that they may have, interest documentation from the banking institutions. If they are renters, if we ask them to bring their landlord's name, address, phone number, and the amount of rent that they paid in 2022. And if it's a homeowner, we ask them to bring their copy of the property taxes for 2022. So if there's a spouse, we ask for the spouse's driver's license as well, and their social security number, and the dependent, any dependents in the home, their social security number as well.
That's good information, and I'm sure people appreciate that and are ready so that the tax preparers, who I would remind folks are volunteers and great community volunteers who do this work. Kyle, I know County Federal Credit Union has been a key partner in this for a number of years. Talk about why it's important, first of all, for County Federal Credit Union to be so involved.
Yeah, absolutely. No, we've always been, this has always been a near and dear project for us to be able to partner with ACAP and United Way on. It's been very important for us to be able to expand and give out the knowledge that we have as financial guides and financial concierge, I guess if you want to call it that, to the community in Aroostook County. We take for granted what we do and learn every single day, and obviously look for opportunities to spread that knowledge around to the community in Aroostook County. And this is one of those opportunities to be able to do so. Providing the cash guides for the County Federal Credit Union has always been a joy of ours. We had a great amount of volunteers come in this year, but one biggest part that we actually had come on that last year was we started including cash guides from ACAP. So now we have the opportunity to have a cash guide from ACAP and a cash guide from the County Federal Credit Union to be able to maybe spread that knowledge base just a little bit more. Not everybody coming in is looking for heating assistance or looking for a mortgage loan or certain things like that. So being able to have both parties come into that makes it a little bit easier for us to assist the customers that are coming in, getting their taxes prepared.
So walk us through what that looks like, Kyle. What do your volunteers that are available to speak with individuals who have just had their taxes filed, what does that look like? What happens in that appointment?
Yeah, sure. So every time somebody comes in to get their taxes prepared, there's actually a questionnaire that they fill out that goes over different needs and certain things that they would like to talk about. And then we have both of our cash guides come in to look at that questionnaire to be able to detail which way we're going to go with our conversations. We don't want to just kind of send them out the door with phone numbers and certain people to contact. We want to send them out the door with answers to questions they may have. To give you an example, we have on the back of the questionnaire people that might be looking for heating assistance. It's kind of a check off that they look for that they're going to struggle with this winter. having an ACAP guide to assist them with applying for the HEAP program. And then if that's not an option for them to turn over to the County Federal Credit Union for our specialized rates and terms on our heating loans that we offer in-house is kind of an example of how that kind of goes down. So it creates a conversation for a knowledge-based transaction between our customers and us to be able to guide them in a direction that they might not get that in a daily basis.
Sarah, I know that aligns perfectly well with the mission and the work of United Way of Aroostook. It's more than just providing that service for individuals to get their taxes done, but it's helping them to sort of lead more healthy, productive, fulfilled lives in that particular case. That's a critically important part of the work of the Cash Coalition, isn't it? Is just that service beyond the taxes. I mean, we talk about getting the taxes done, and that's something that most people have to do regardless. But this really is the opportunity for United Way to again demonstrate that opportunity to connect people with more services and more education.
That's correct. United Way of Aroostook is big on supporting the financial stability of our members of our community. And we don't believe in handout. We want a hand up. And this program really gives the people a hand up because we're coaching them and giving them the resources to make them more successful and make them more financially stable.
Sorry, I've lost my camera at the moment.
Receiving calls for folks, there it is. As you're receiving calls for folks, what are folks sharing with you in terms of the fact that this service is available to them in communities across Aroostook County?
This is huge. We get so many phone calls. Starting January 1st, people start calling our office and they worry that they'll have to pay somebody to do that because they don't have that saved. They don't have the money to file their taxes. So this is a huge help to people. Different this year, we are not doing virtual tax preparation. We are only doing in person. We're going back to the way the program was originally run and going back to being in Houlton 2 different Saturdays from 10 to 4. Houlton's dates are February 18th and 25th, and we'll be in Fort Kent again for 2 Saturdays, March 4th and March 11th from 10 to 4. And we'll be, when we're in Presque Isle, we'll be at the United Way of Aroostook office. And those appointments are from noon to 5 every Wednesday and Thursday from February 8th until April 13th.
Great. Sounds like a great opportunity to connect, and people don't have to drive too far if you're doing it regionally like that. Gloria, as people are calling, I know that we've already had some volume of calls. What are you hearing from folks? I know that this year is especially tight, so the opportunity to get your taxes done for free and then hopefully connect with other services while you're out must be something that folks are especially grateful for this year.
They are. And a lot of the calls that we're getting are repeat customers who have used the services in the past. And they're so appreciative of being able to do it again this year. And they are appreciative to be able to do it in person.
Awesome. And Kyle, I know that you have a network of staff that are volunteering to do this and will be on site at even the facilities in Houlton and Fort Kent. Is that correct?
We have staff that are going to be on site in Presque Isle and in Houlton. Unfortunately, we didn't have anybody to be able to offer for Fort Kent, but I know that we have some very knowledgeable ACAP cash guides that will be able to kind of assist with us while we're absent from that location.
You know, Sarah, I had the opportunity last year to be at both Houlton and Fort Kent and seeing folks there. Just some heartbreaking stories. I was helping to sort of facilitate the traffic flow and get people from their tax appointment to a navigator and the like. And just some stories of you know, heartbreaking stories of individuals who didn't realize that there were programs available for a furnace replacement, for example, and had spent an inordinate amount of very limited resources that they had on a furnace replacement when they were eligible for not only that, but for heating assistance. So I'm imagining as you work with individuals on getting their taxes done and through this, through the Cash Coalition program, the additional supports and services, you are also feeling that and hearing those stories and sensing the difference made.
I often look at everybody's paperwork as they would come in to help with the flow. And it's just amazing the small amount of money our senior citizens in Aroostook County are living on. And they don't have that extra. And oftentimes they're too proud or really don't know what resources are because there's nobody there to teach them or really intercept. So this program really intercepted those people. And it was amazing to see the connections that were being made, and the amount of people that qualified for heating assistance was pretty impressive that we caught last year. So I expect that we're just going to keep getting more and more people connected to resources each year that we do this program. And it's just so needed because our seniors are really struggling in Aroostook County.
And Gloria, that's an important thing that I think that it's important to pick up on from what Sarah said, because I know you and your reception team across Aroostook County field calls every day here at the agency from individuals. And this year in particular, with the high cost of heating, we're getting calls from seniors in particular who have never applied for these services before, but worked their entire lives and are potentially seeing some of that savings just be eaten away with the high cost of fuel and the like, but are calling sort of in this spirit of, I've never had to call before and I never wanted to call before. But we really want to encourage, these are safety net programs, if you will, especially for our seniors who have worked their entire lives and who are now living on very limited and fixed incomes. What would you say to seniors out there who are just hesitating or not calling because they feel like these programs are not for them, or they maybe feel some stigma associated with them?
I would encourage any senior to call. It's not, this program is not asset based, it's income based. And as Sarah said, a lot of our seniors live on very meager incomes throughout the year, and any unforeseen expense really cuts into what they are able to afford and to pay for it. With the heating, fuel, oil, and the expenses this year, they're calling and almost apologetic that this is the first, and they're kind of lost as to the process, and our receptionists are helping them to navigate the appointment process, and then referring them over to a navigator to maybe speak with them. There may be other needs, especially families. We have working families who have never before had to apply before. They don't know, they're not aware that maybe they may be eligible for WIC or for workforce training. So it's not only seniors, but it's young families as well. This is their first time to call, and our receptionists are doing all that we can to help guide and navigate them through that process.
Indeed. Kyle, from your perspective, I know that you've done some of these appointments yourself and some of your staff. What kind of aha moments have happened out there for folks who have sat down with you and had just come back with a tax return, and you've sort of given them maybe some food for thought that they had never conceived of before, of what to do with that money, or how to save that money, or how to spend that money in a way that would support their household?
Yeah, to kind of go off of what Sarah said, we're not just giving them an at-moment option. We're giving them resources to reach out, not today, but even down in the future. And a big aha moment that I had personally with one of my cash guides is we had somebody that came in that was renting an apartment right now that was trying to find a way out of it, but didn't think they could afford a home. And this is kind of more towards the lending side. I was able to actually take that family and put them in our USDA program through the credit union and get them into their first house, which is always very rewarding. It's one of the best parts of my job. But to be able to take somebody that didn't have the knowledge or the courage to go out and ask somebody those questions, to be able to provide that service to them and provide that resource, was one of the best moments I've had during this Cash Coalition portion of my portion of this Cash Coalition.
Excellent. So before we close this segment out, let's just get some last thoughts or anything that we've sort of left off the table in our discussion, and want to make sure that folks know walking away from this broadcast about this year's efforts of the Cash Coalition and the upcoming tax appointments. Sarah Duncan, I'll start with you.
Yeah, last year, people were directed to call 211 to make their appointments, and that really didn't work out for a lot of our people, and we found it easier to make appointments as usual through our office. This year, ACAP has been a wonderful partner and stepped in to help because we don't have the capacity to take hundreds of phone calls every week. And so people need to call ACAP to make their appointment. Your appointment in Presque Isle will still be at the United Way of Aroostook office, but please call ACAP for your appointment.
Great. Gloria Duncan, your last thoughts or anything that you've forgotten or not mentioned yet?
Sure. When you call ACAP 764-3721, not only are you reaching our main receptionist, but there are 5 other receptionists who are remote, who are answering those phone calls as well. So we're here, we're eager to help, and we're just waiting for your phone calls, and we'll get you on that appointment list.
And even if they're calling that 764 number, which most people associate with Presque Isle, they can make appointments for Holton and for Fort Kent on that line as well, correct?
Correct. Yes, we're making the appointments for all of the sites. Yes.
As a matter of fact, you may actually call from Fort Kent looking for an appointment in Fort Kent, and a receptionist in Holton may answer your call and be able to schedule you in Fort Kent, which is the greatness of that system. So thank you, Gloria. Kyle Taylor, your last thoughts and anything that you've not mentioned that you want to make sure you get across to folks?
Yeah, no, just really excited about this opportunity. We have a lot of eager cash guides from ACAP and County Federal Credit Union to be able to help provide some resources to the community of Aroostook County, and get a lot of eagerness to kind of lend that hand out.
All right. Well, Kyle Taylor, Gloria Duncan, and Sarah Duncan. Gloria Duncan and Sarah Duncan. I just realized that. Why didn't I catch that before? I'm like, Gloria, I thought I was saying something wrong. But anyway, it's great to have you all on the program. And great to talk about this wonderful program. Again, if you're looking for a tax appointment for this season, please call ACAP at 764-3721. We can accommodate and schedule you for either Holton, Fort Kent, or Presque Isle sites. Presque Isle site being at the United Way of Aroostook office at the Aroostook Center Mall. And of course, the Fort Kent and Holton sites being at the ACAP facilities in those communities on some upcoming Saturdays that Sarah mentioned. But the folks who are booking your appointment will fill you in on all that information. And as Gloria mentioned, what you need to bring with you to the appointment. Before we leave all of you, I first, of course, want to say thank you to my guest on this week's edition of ACAP Today. But before we leave all of you, we share with you our photo of the week. And this week, our photo of the week comes from our Hope and Prosperity Resource Center. This was mealtime at the Hope and Prosperity Resource Center. We are inviting the community to join the Hope and Prosperity Resource Center's meal train. We serve between 20 and 30 individuals a lunchtime meal every day in our day center. This was one of the days last week when they were serving lunch, and we are inviting community volunteers who would like to make lunch for individuals who are experiencing homelessness, who turn to us each and every day to connect with services, to try to find housing and employment and other services in the community, to consider making a meal for between 20 and 30 individuals. Just let us know. You can give us a call here at the agency, or off of our Facebook page, you can connect to a link to schedule your date. And that's this week's photo of the week, and that's this week's edition of ACAP Today. We'll be back next week with a brand new edition. Hope you all have a great week.